Hi, I'm Liston from Eat Big Fish, and this is a Challenger Spotlight on a Thanksgiving classic, REI's Opt Outside. So Opt Outside started in 2015, which was about 10 years ago, and it's kind of one of the more classic brand actions that you would ever hear about, one of the more powerful brand actions you'd ever hear about, but it was in essence an ops decision. So it was a decision to shut all of their stores on Black Friday, which is the Friday after American Thanksgiving, and at the time was one of the biggest in real life shopping days of the year. And it's worth at this moment kind of pausing for a second and going into just details about what Black Friday was like back then, because I think we've forgotten how crazy it was in a world where online shopping exists or where COVID sort of dented how insane it actually was. But back then, sort of in the early 2000s, it was an arms race to start earlier and earlier to get people in stores. So people would be lining up at 3 a.m. the night before just to get into store at 4 a.m. when they opened. And so in 2015, a bunch of executives from REI were in a conference room having the sort of meeting you would expect them to be having. What are we going to be doing about Black Friday this year? And someone tossed out the idea, well, what if we closed on it? And at first that sounded absolutely insane. No one had ever closed on both Thanksgiving and Black Friday before. This is such a huge revenue driver to move you from in the red to in the black. But the more they thought about it, the more it felt true to who they were as a company. So REI started in 1938 as a group of 23 climbing friends. So it literally started as a company founded on sort of outdoor community. How would a brand about outdoor community engage with a holiday about indoor commerce? Honestly, it wouldn't. They don't want to encourage consumers to spend more time indoors. They don't want to force their employees to experience this indoor chaos. They would rather you spend meaningful time outdoors with people that you love. And so they ultimately then decided to shut their doors on Black Friday. So this decision to close wasn't just about closing their stores. They also blacked out their website, and they created these resources that would help you get outside. So it wasn't just saying opt outside, it was giving you the tools to do so. So they had a microsite and kind of geo-targeted ads that help guide you to adventures and trails near you. They encourage you to share photos of those adventures so other people would be encouraged to as well. And this was ultimately, again, a decision rooted in their values, but it made them famous for those values. So in the first 24 hours that first year, it earned 2.7 billion media impressions. And in the first year alone, 1.4 million people RSVP'd to kind of spend time outside, RSVP'd to opt outside. And ultimately, it wasn't just about this kind of solo impact. It created a larger movement. So 170 other organizations that first year joined in, closed their doors, encouraged people to spend time outside. And at over 1,000 kind of local and national parks waived their admission fees so people could more easily get outside so they could experience the joy of the outdoors. So REI's commitment to opt outside has only deepened in the years since 2015. So they've closed every Black Friday since then, and in fact made that closure permanent in 2022. But also it's become sort of a larger part of their business. They view opting outside not just as a day or as a hashtag, but as a choice that consumers need to make kind of again and again, and a choice that they want to help encourage consumers to make. So that includes sort of the classes and events that they offer, that includes the goods that they're selling that help you better get outside. And also, Opt Outside has since become their actual strap line, so the line that they wear day in and day out that most embodies who they are. So ultimately, when I see Opt Outside, I see a brand that did a great job of making its beliefs visible by breaking with category convention. So they took an action that no one else would take because it felt like the right thing for them to do. And in doing so, the world became clear on what they stand for, and ultimately, they became clear on what they stand for. It's helped guide their decision-making day in and day out ever since.